What's the best thing about making music on an iPad with a USB-C port? For me, it's no longer having to spend ridiculous money on Apple's stupidly expensive selection of dongles. Pretty much any third-party USB-C adapter will work with your iPad Pro, Air or Mini. Deciding what adapter is going to be right for you can be a wee bit overwhelming, so in this video I'm going to share a few different options, plus which one I think is best for you if you're making music on your iPad. Hey, it's Patrick from the GarageBand Guide. Let's talk about USB-C adapters. On the budget end of the scale is this. This is the Teminice, I think that's how you say it.
Nope.
Branded 5-in-1 USB-C adapter. Now, this one isn't designed for use specifically with a USB-C iPad, but it does the job. Even if it does look less than elegant hanging out the bottom of your device. Oh dear. It has two USB 3.0 ports, a 4K capable HDMI port, and SD and micro SD card slots on the end. What's missing here, of course, is an on-board headphone jack, which means your only option for monitoring audio is through the iPad's built-in speakers or through an attached audio interface. Neither of those options are ideal, really. Monitoring audio through your iPad speakers is only really feasible when recording software instruments, as you'll get audio bleed in your real audio recordings without headphones. Using the onboard headphone output in an audio interface will absolutely work, but it kind of defeats the point of creating music on a portable device. Who wants to lug a full-on audio interface around with you everywhere you go, whether you're recording or not? No thanks. There's no USB-C pass-through charging port here either, meaning you won't be able to charge your device while using this hub. This makes longer recording or mixing sessions pretty much impossible, really. Having said that, if you're just looking for something cheap and cheerful to plug your USB Midi keyboards or controllers into, this will, as I said, get the job done. Next up is this Anker 6-in-1 adapter that's made specifically for USB-C iPads. This adapter gives you a 4K 60Hz capable HDMI port, a 60-watt USB-C pass-through charging port, a single USB 3.0 port, SD and micro SD card slots, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The Anker fits snugly against the bottom edge of your iPad, which keeps things a lot neater and, more importantly, your setup more mobile-friendly than the previous adapter. Now, there's only one USB-A port on offer here, so you won't, for example, be able to hook up both an audio interface and MIDI controller and use them simultaneously. The inclusion of a pass-through USB-C port makes up for this though, allowing you to keep your device's battery topped up during long mixing sessions. And of course, the headphone jack allows you to plug your headphones right in and listen back to your projects. It's not perfect though. Anker say that this adapter isn't compatible with any iPad case apart from the smart keyboard. Now, this does make sense as the adapter sits flush against the bottom of the iPad. Though I was able to kind of work around that with this magnetic folio type case. If I take the case off, then attach the Anker adapter, then put the case back on, it kind of works. You're probably going to have to just resign yourself to working caseless when using this adapter. Also, I find it isn't the most stable connection. A wee bit of wiggling to and fro is enough to loosen the adapter's connection. Definitely not as solid as you might expect, especially at this price point. Finally, and my favourite of the bunch, is this 5-in-1 adapter from Ugreen. Another adapter designed specifically for use with USB-C iPads, the Ugreen has a 3.5mm headphone jack, 4K and 60Hz capable HDMI port, 2 USB 3.0 ports, and a 100 watt/5 gigabits per second USB-C port. This adapter kind of rolls all the good stuff from the previous two adapters into one package that iPad musicians in particular will find useful. Gone are the SD card slots from the previous adapters. Instead, the Ugreen gives you 2 USB 3.0 ports, so you can attach both an audio interface and MIDI controller at the same time and kind of jump between the two. The USB-C port here allows for up to 100 watts of pass-through charging, that's 40 watts more than the Anchor, plus 5 gigabits per second data transfer, so you can, for example, attach a USB-C external drive and import files really quickly. What I really like about this adapter is how it gets around the connection issues that the Anchor had. It comes with this attachment that magnetically clips onto the adapter. Plugging the Ugreen adapter into your iPad with this wee doohickey attached makes for a really snug fit, with none of the wiggly nonsense that causes connection issues with the Anchor. If you have a case on your iPad, simply remove the wee metal thing and the Ugreen adapter will slot on, leaving enough room for the case. It's a really straightforward solution to a very specific problem. So which one do I recommend then? Well, if as well as music creation you also use your device for video editing in something like LumaFusion and you're using footage captured on a DSLR or equivalent camera that uses SD or micro SD cards, the Anchor is probably the way to go. Despite the connection issues, those SD card slots will definitely come in useful for transferring larger files across to your iPad's internal storage. If, however, you primarily use your iPad for music production, the Ugreen is the way to go. It's reasonably priced, has a great selection of ports, and provides a solid connection, whether you're using a chunky case or not. I've been using it for the past few months and have found it really reliable. Alright, check the linkies in the dinky for more info on the adapters I've talked about in this video, and watch this playlist next for even more great GarageBand gear recommendations.